Mia had always believed in the magic of the stars. As a little girl, she would lie in her backyard at night, eyes wide with wonder, tracing constellations across the sky with her finger. She'd tell herself that no matter how far apart people were, they could always look up and find each other in the same stars. And it was this very belief that brought her to the quiet town of Elmswood. Mia had never planned to leave the hustle and bustle of the city. But when her mother fell ill and needed long-term care, Mia's life had changed overnight. She packed her bags and moved to Elmswood, a place so quiet and isolated that it felt like a different world. The small town had its charm, with winding streets lined with old brick houses, towering oak trees, and a local diner where everyone knew your name. On her first day in Elmswood, she met Lucas. Lucas wasn't like the people she had known in the city. He wasn't loud or brash. In fact, he was a quiet young man with a tendency to blend into the background. He worked as a mechanic in his father's garage, spending most of his days tinkering with old engines and fixing cars. Despite his reserved nature, there was something magnetic about him, a calmness that drew people in. They met when Mia's old car, a rusty vehicle that had been with her since college, broke down outside the diner. It was Lucas who helped her, rolling up his sleeves and offering to take a look at the engine. Mia was initially frustrated. She didn't want to be in a new town, let alone stranded in front of a garage, waiting for a stranger to fix her car. But Lucas had a way of making everything feel less like a hassle and more like an opportunity for conversation. As he worked on her car, they talked. It was a simple exchange at first: whether, the state of the town, and how Mia had ended up there. But by the time her car was ready to go, Mia felt like she had known Lucas for years. He didn't try to impress her with flashy stories or boastful comments. He just listened, and somehow, that was enough. From that moment on, they became inseparable. At first, their friendship was casual. They would meet for coffee at the diner, chat about their days, and laugh at the small-town drama that never seemed to end. But over time, their connection grew deeper. Mia learned about Lucas's past, the struggles he had faced growing up in a family that never quite understood his need for solitude. She learned that he didn't have many friends in Elmswood, that he had spent most of his life feeling like an outsider. And Lucas learned about Mia's fears. How she had always felt like an outsider too, never quite fitting in anywhere. Even in the bustling city where she'd grown up, she revealed her insecurity. She often wondered if she was doing the right thing, taking care of her mother, leaving her old life behind. Their friendship was the kind that didn't need words to be understood. There were long silences between them, but they were comfortable silences. They never had to fill the space with chatter. Just being around each other was enough. One evening, as they sat on the porch of Mia's cottage, watching the sun set behind the rolling hills of Elmswood, Lucas spoke up. "You ever think about how small this town is?" he asked, his voice low. "How easy it is to get stuck here." Mia glanced at him, sensing the weight behind his words. "Sometimes," she said. "But then I think about how the people here don't need to go anywhere else to feel whole. Maybe that's something I'm missing." Lucas smiled faintly. "Maybe. Or maybe it's that they don't need to go anywhere else because they already have what they need, what they've always had. Friends." Mia chuckled, shaking her head. "Is that your way of saying you like me? Is it so hard to believe?" Lucas teased, his usual quiet demeanor giving way to a playful smile. Mia's heart fluttered in a way she hadn't expected. It wasn't romantic, no. That was the last thing she needed. But it was something deeper, something real. The connection between them wasn't based on fleeting moments or temporary companionship. It was built on trust, on shared experiences, and on the understanding that, no matter what life threw their way, they would be there for each other. In the weeks that followed, Mia and Lucas became a fixture in each other's lives. Lucas would drive Mia to her mother's appointments, and Mia would bring him lunch at the garage. They celebrated small victories, together her mother's good days, the minor successes Lucas had at work, and even the simple joy of a quiet evening spent watching the stars. It was a friendship that didn't require grand gestures or deep declarations. It was a friendship built on the quiet moments, the shared laughter, and the understanding that no matter where life took them, they would always have each other. As the seasons changed, so did their lives. Mia's mother's condition improved, and Mia began to find her own rhythm in Elmswood. She started volunteering at the local library and making a life outside of the care she provided for her mother. And Lucas, ever the steady presence, continued to work at the garage, but he started opening up more, learning to trust and connect with others in a way he never had before. Through it all, their friendship remained unchanged. No matter where life took them, they were always bound by the stars by, the quiet, unspoken bond that held them together. And Mia knew, as she lay under the night sky, that no matter what happened, she would never have to face it alone.